Hunt for the Wrathborn. Zivor Wrath's minions are a threat to business on the shore, and Spider wants them dealt with. Crow has cobbled together a lure from an old hive artifact. It seems to be effective at baiting out the Wrathborn, Zivor Wrath's corrupted army. Acquire the lure from Crow's workshop. The Unclaimed Lightbearer. Transmission from Osiris. Guardian. Let us not waste time on formalities. Spies from both the city and the reef have become aware of an Unclaimed Lightbearer, though they have not yet been able to put a name or face to the reports. Their attention has only focused now that this Lightbearer has fallen prey to the shore's self-appointed overseer. It is a matter of time until all is laid bare before prying eyes. You would be wise not to hasten this effort. Instead, give credence to this. Our Crow is a new light. Attention is required elsewhere, and whatever latent grudge you bear against the flesh the light has inhabited carries merit no longer. Uldren Sov is dead. Do not pummel the corpse of your grievances. Keep this information between us, or if the first trigger pull was not enough to satisfy, know that you only risk our chance at victory for a scrap of catharsis. I do not believe this to be your nature. Zivor Wrath leaves no room for distraction. The appearance of her mongrels are the fingers of her encroaching grasp. We have a single moment to halt their advance. For if she is successful, her brood will establish a foothold that could take centuries to purge, if it can be purged at all. Falter, and she will swallow the system. Secrets keep the peace, for now. Truth in time, I will assist you where I can. Osiris.
Their house broke colors not 2 weeks ago. I guess they didn't make it.
I'm gonna die.
What a shame.
Because of the falling
Zivor
around
Wrath
me.
thrives on the instability of waning leadership. Keep to your subjects. Baron, there are Elixni in the line of fire.
I don't recognize them. They could have come to me, but no. Choices have consequences. Show them.
As you wish. Baron, we have Elixni near the engagement zone. We could wait.
The battle lines have been drawn, and everyone on the shore knows it. Either they're with me, or they're with the Hive. Deal with them accordingly.
The lure is doing its job. At least that's one thing going well.
Having a tough time finding a comfortable place to sit while we do the heavy lifting?
A stone perch suits me well enough.
I'm detecting hive energy signatures incoming. It's working.
You sound surprised.
Good job on the lure. Here come the Hive.
Let's wait until we survive to celebrate.
You're a light bearer, Crow. Survival is mandatory.
The lure's doing its job, Guardian. Good luck.
Sometimes I feel like we're the bait.
It's running from the cryptolith. What should we do?
It'll return at full strength if we don't finish the job. Chase it down. It's retreating to more favorable terrain. Don't let it set up defensive positions.
Stay right behind it, Guardian. Keep up the pressure. It's abandoning the cryptolith. Did we win?
We have the upper hand, but now we need to finish the job. How many of these Wrathborn led full lives before they were seduced by the cryptolith? You think it would not drive an arc blade into your chest if it remained as it was? Elixni aren't so unreasonable when you use words. Well executed.
We're improving. Soon we'll be able to predict their movements, just like you.
When Mercury vanished, the Infinite Forest did as well. With it, my ability to interpret the flow of time. The future is beyond my sight. These poor Elixni. They're just empty shells filled with darkness. If that ever happens to me, I hope you'll put me out of my misery.
Did anyone else pick up that strange sonic artifacting?
Now that you mention it, I was picking something up, but the signal was inaudible.
I didn't notice it at the time, but I remember hearing something. It's faint. A feeling of want.
The sonic artifacting around the cryptolith is getting stronger. I can almost make it out.
It's clear to me. A woman's voice. She keeps asking for something.
We should hurry. Long-term exposure to Xivu Rath's signal is starting to take its toll.
Did you see its eyes? Reacting to stimulus with no thought as to why.
I wouldn't want to go on like that.
Agreed. Next time I build a lure, I'd rather it be for fishing.
Success. I hope Spider is impressed.
I wouldn't bet on the spider's kindness. With him, it's better to have leverage.
Crow gives a wry smile. Nice work. You picked that up quickly. But that's only the beginning. His smile fades. There are much more dangerous Wrathborn than that one. He checks the sights of his weapon. So let's get to work. A difficult teacher. You just missed Osiris, Crow notes with a look over his shoulder. He's been teaching me a hive dousing ritual so we can map out the interdimensional pathways through the Ascendant Plane. Use what we're learning about the cryptoliths to track down the High Celebrant. Crow puffs out his chest just so. He says I'm a fast study and maybe the spider might allow him to continue tutoring me when this is over. There's a lot I could learn from him. The corner of his mouth crooks up. When I asked him where he learned so much about the hive, He told me not to ask questions I wasn't ready to have answers to. Crow laughs. I can see why people think he's kind of an ass. Continue completing Wrathborn hunts to weaken Xivu Arath's forces. Crow assesses your blood-splattered armor with grim admiration. Good work, Guardian. Looks like the Hive God of War has competition for her title. He half jokes. I wouldn't want to be on your bad side.
Soul fire brings the Wrathborn to us.
You put soul fire in these things? How?
Trade secrets. Maybe one day I'll teach you.
Whatever is being drawn to the lure used to be fallen. Not anymore.
Xivu Arath's magic has perverted these creatures, twisting them into abominations that are neither hive nor fallen. Charming. Let's give it the welcome it deserves.
My shore is crawling with unsavory personalities and garish hive altars. I reach out, try to be reasonable, but they don't talk. They don't deal. Well, violence is a universal language.
Hive are retreating.
Stay right behind it. Once it stops, finish it off. They're on the run. You got a sparrow?
We may have stunted the growth of the cryptolith, but the Wrathborn will be back if we don't finish it off. We've got the advantage, but not for long. Stay in pursuit. scrappy, but it'll get the job done.
I don't see you down here with us dodging lasers.
We prefer to remain out of sight.
Good riddance. It's a shame the Hive are bad for business. They're so splendidly obedient to authority.
Obedience has its limits, Spider. So does authority.
Maybe so. But authority gives the world order and meaning. And obedience gives the powerless a place in the world. Isn't that right, Lightbearer?
We're one step closer to the High Celebrant and Xivu Arath.
One step closer to an end.
With the pyramid ships in the system, this is just the beginning.
At least this Wrathborn wasn't a Cabal gladiator. Or a Colossus. I would need a bigger rifle. The Cabal are not so mobile. Fallen serve better for reconnaissance. Even the Scions? They are brought into Wizard's Courts to serve as psychic lodestones for ceremonial dives into the deep. Your successes are due in no small part to your lures. Perhaps I could study them after your campaign ends.
Everyone knows you're an expert on the Vex. But I had no idea you were also so interested in the Hive.
My interest grew after interfacing with the Hive aboard Oryx's dreadnought. As they say, know thy enemy.
Peace for Savik. Crow leans against the table, his head bowed. There was an Elixni, he says. A salvager dreg named Savik. We'd worked together a few times out on the shore. A few days ago, I saw her in a horde of Wrathborn. Managed to isolate her, drag her away, restrain her. He refuses to meet your eyes. I tried to get through to her to reach the Savik I knew, but she fought so hard to free herself that she nearly tore one of her arms off. Crow swallows, and you see his throat jump. Silence, and then... I didn't know what else to do, so I gave her what peace I could.
Welcome back.
Do you bring news on our rumor? Or have you come to see how deep the cryptoliths have burrowed? Petra hides the stress of command behind steely eyes. I hear you're not the only guardian running chores for a spider. I'd suggest caution, but you lot know what you're getting yourselves into. Petra slaps your shoulder. Spider lackey or not, you're a welcome sight. Her humorous tone quickly fades to seriousness. Xivu Arath's presence is strong here. I'm not keen on another hive matron worming their way into awoken territory. Whatever terror she is sowing here, Petra says as if delivering an order, burn it out. The Queen's wrath straightens her shoulders. We will hold back her abominations where we can, but my corsairs are not impervious to her call, nor am I. I leave that to you. My sympathies. Petra turns to you. I dreamt of their passing, the worlds, those who remained, and the shadow that hung over them. I'm afraid the Dreaming City hasn't fared well since the darkness swept through our system. You can taste the difference in the air. It is as if there's a war being fought within smoke bending around us and slipping through our hair, leaving nothing but scorched scent. I do not enjoy being left out of the loop, but we persevere. As you turn to leave, she stops you. There's one more thing. A rumor. She considers for a moment before speaking. The prince lives. Petra's eyes scan your reaction. Impossible, I know. But if it's more than a rumor, I don't want to hear it from a report.
Set your lure at the cryptolith to draw the Wrathborn out.
If we're not quick, it'll retreat back to the Ascendant Plane, and we won't be able to follow.
The more powerful the lure, the more powerful the Wrathborn, and the closer we get to the High Celebrant. The Hive have heard your call. They approach.
Good. Let's light them up. For Sagira.
The Wrathborn approaches. Destroy it before it escapes. Does the curse build and fall? The Wrathborn seem to draw power from its motion. You have a keen eye, young Awoken. The magic here is stitched deep and has a rhythm.
It's repositioning. Maybe try to put some Taken between us.
Let it. The Taken don't frighten me. Do not let the Wrathborn rejoin its master in the Ascendant Plane. Easier said than done. This place is disorienting. It was built of whims and wishes. That's to be expected. Livor Wrath is recalling a Wrathborn. Perhaps she senses the forces of light at play.
We have to stop it from getting back to the Ascendant Plane. Who knows what it might tell her?
All active Guardians. Scorn spotted advancing up the beach on the eastern shore.
Glad you think so. Remember that when we're negotiating payment.
To act with power. Do not take the light for granted. Life without it is much dimmer.
Osiris, I hope this isn't too much to ask. How does it feel?
Like rust. Glimmers of what was barely within my recollection. And yet I miss it. Before Wrath's plan lacks subtlety. She moves in the open, and that is why she will fail. I don't think she fears being seen. There are other reasons to hide besides fear. I can see the High Celebrant's motions through the Ascendant Plane. There are pockets that I still can't identify, but... Guardian, when this ends, just know that I'm grateful to have worked alongside you.
Building pressure. Spider is getting impatient, is the first thing Crow says. He's a ball of frenetic energy, struggling not to pace. A horde of Wrathborn descended on a docked ketch and slaughtered the crew. Crow's mouth flattens. Not that our Baron is concerned about the loss of life beyond the work stoppage it causes. He sounds bitter. He ever so politely reminded me about the explosives he planted in Glint. Crow takes a breath and gives you a sharp look. If we don't find the High Celebrant soon... He knows he doesn't have to finish the end of that sentence. Instead, with quiet desperation, he says, "We have to work harder." The man I am. I suppose this is it, Crow says with a sense of finality. Time to say goodbye to the reef, to the only home I've ever known. He looks thoughtful, if a little distant. Osiris came by earlier. We talked for a while about my plans for the future. I told him I'd considered exploring somewhere remote like Venus, but he suggested a different course. I'm coming to the tower. Crow holds his head up high. People may judge the man I was, but I refuse to cower in the shadow of his legacy. I'm a guardian. I need to act like one.
Glint, what is the Shattered Throne? This Wrathborn traveled through it.
Good question. Maybe we...
There's a nexus point in the Ascended Plane, wrapped around a throne that was meant to anchor the city here. It serves other purposes now. The dreaming city. Once the Awoken's pride, now a cursed shell. I feel a terrible weight in the air. Tragedies, miscalculations, and betrayal. Too many to count. These pathways, like a half-remembered dream.
They were willed into being by the Awoken. Your people.
Then we walk its halls as protectors. Is recalling him Wrathborn. Perhaps she senses the forces of light at play.
We have to stop it from getting back to the Ascendant Plane. Who knows what it might tell her?
It's trying to escape.
Why don't we just let the Taken handle it?
Even if they did, we'd just be taking from one high god and giving to another. The only way to end this is to eliminate them all ourselves.
It's looking for a tear into the Ascendant Plane.
Let's put that craven thing to rest before it causes any more damage. light protect us from becoming like the Wrathborn?
It strengthens your will, but the light doesn't direct your decisions.
I'm still me.
Yes, but immortality has its dangers. Some lose touch with reality, or become hermits, like Osiris.
Did you stand underneath the pyramid storms on Io, Guardian? Did you see them drag tidal waves across Titan? I felt it tug at the islands of the reef, and then recede like a tide. If Xivu Arath is what follows, we can't stop now.
Fate worse than death. You come around the corner and hear a loud metallic clang as Crow hurls a wrench at his workbench in anger. He looks sheepish when he sees you and begins to tidy up. Spider's attitude toward these hunts is getting to me, he confesses. I've tried to reason with him that there might be a way to save the corrupted Elixni. He won't hear it. I know the Wrathborn are a threat, but I refuse to abandon these people to death or a fate worse than that. They took me in, and they deserve better. Redouble your efforts. It feels like it'll never end, Crow says. No matter how many of the Wrathborn we kill, it feels like Xivu Arath has 6 times as many waiting to take their place. What worries me is that we're only seeing the Elixni among the converted, but I know remnants of the Red Legion were corrupted as well. We need to redouble our efforts, focus on hunting down the most powerful of Xivu Arath's servants, and find a way to shut the Cryptoliths down forever. Or, I suppose, die trying. Repeatedly, he adds with a smirk.
Remember, the Celebrant must be killed in the Ascended Plane. Destroy it, and you will deal Xivu Arath a crippling blow.
Right. No Celebrant, no Cryptoliths. No Cryptoliths, no Wrathborn. Let's see her fight us without an army. Crow, are you there?
Somewhat. I tracked the Celebrant through a portal into swirling darkness.
A gateway to the Ascended Plane.
As I said, swirling darkness. I'm learning its tricks now, studying how it moves through these realms. It's like a shark cutting through black water.
Keep an eye on it.
I can do more than that. Tagged it. It's bleeding energy and on its way back to you.
Fled back into the Ascendant Plane, but it left something behind.
Told you I tagged it. That's residual energy, a blood trail. Destroy it and the essences in your lure should reopen the portal. The Celebrant seeks to bring more territory under Xivu Arath's control. Be quick. She will not be pleased with trespassers.
We made it through the portal back to the Dreaming City. No sign of the Celebrant. Crow, where are you?
At your coordinates, walking the other side of the same coin. The way I see it, as long as we're in both planes, it has nowhere to hide.
Celebrant sighted.
Do your thing.
This isn't working. We can't truly damage the Celebrant without reclaimed light.
Hold tight. I'm on it.
We flushed them out of the Ascendant Plane and into the open.
I just shot them until they ran, but I like the way you put it better. To think you can enter this plane using nothing but dead essences. Zivor Wrath strikes where Savathun first pushed through the veil and entered the Dreaming City. Has she no ambition of her own?
Stopped bleeding energy. We can't get through.
I think the Celebrant realized we marked it. It sealed the portal behind itself.
We're trapped in here? Your companions are trapped in the Ascendant Plane with the Celebrant. And they are already lost. Like Sagira.
The portal closed, but maybe there's enough hive magic left in the lure to activate some other way through.
I hope you can hear this. The Celebrant turned it around on us. The hunter becomes the hunted. I wanted to... Listen, if things get ugly for us in here, just know it's not your fault. Everything I did because I wanted to. Thank you for letting me have a choice.
Crow, we're in the Ascendant Plane. Do you read us?
Nothing in here I can't handle.
What are you talking about? The Celebrant broke your legs and threw you into an abyss.
Nothing I can't handle. The High Celebrant's just up ahead, and I think I have a plan.
For Sagira.
Are you keeping it busy? I'm nearly at the portal where you came in.
You're leaving?
Like Osiris said, the Celebrant must die in the Ascendant Plane, and you're our best shot at making that happen. He's leaving. I survived by watching the world around me and learning from my light. I've studied how that thing creates those portals. This time, I'll be ready.
readings are spiking. It's going to create another portal.
I'm in position on the other side. You're smoking it out, Guardian, but if I block the exit, it burns.
Crow, the portal.
I see it. Now, finish it. The High Celebrant of Zebua Wrath is no more. How did you manage that?
Crow destroyed its portal from the other side when it tried to escape. I knew he wouldn't really leave us.
No, never. Oh, bring its head, would you? Spider will want proof when you come to collect. It's been an honor, Guardian.
Cleaning up the shore. Crow seems different today, as though a weight has lifted off of him. Still can't believe it, he says with cautious amazement. But Spider was quick to agree to your terms. He never gives up that easy, which means he thinks there's something to gain. He sent an engineer to remove the explosives from Glint, so he's held up his end of the bargain. For now. Crow's wariness for the future is tempered by a growing sense of optimism for the present. As for me, I plan on sticking around. He cracks a rare smile. Just a little longer. The High Celebrant may be gone, but we need to clear out the remaining Wrathborn before the Cryptoliths will decay. That could take weeks, possibly months. Crow squares his shoulders to the task ahead. I'll get things started, then you Tower Guardians can handle the rest. I've earned my freedom and I intend to enjoy it.